Sports tonight on your award-winning channels television. Let's welcome Alfred Okoligwe. We missed him last week. He's back on the show tonight. Alfred, good to have you on the program.
Delighted as ever, Austin, to be here. And the story about the wrestlers from South Africa, you just begin to wonder, when will we come to the end of all of this as it concerns our sports?
Yeah, I know. It's really touching. Once again, it means we have to find a solution, find a way to defeat this funding issue, because it's like there's no competition that we go to, particularly that is not football, that we don't get to hear of this story. But Alfred, we'll get to this Commonwealth Wrestling in South Africa. We'll get into the discussion proper later, and then we'll talk about it. Let's begin with the FIBA Africa Champions Cup. Yes, that one is being played right there in Tunisia. We gave you updates yesterday. Let's give you updates tonight. Gombe Bulls surprise package from Nigeria when they took on Sporting Libolo. I thought it was going to be very, very difficult for that Nigerian team, but no, they went on to win 75 to 67 points. It was a good outing for Gombe Bulls. They won the first quarter 26-23. Second quarter, they lost by just a point. Well, no problem. They lost the second quarter, and then the third quarter, Gombe Bulls lost again, 14-17, but it was the fourth quarter that they brought their A game. Yeah, and when they got to that, Alfred, they won 20-11, and that ensured that they recorded a 75-67 points victory. And that's what it is in sports, Alfred. Impossible is nothing. Until the final quarter, keep fighting, and that's what they did.
9-point game in the third quarter, and they won that game by 7 or 8 points. It just tells you that for them was where they just turned it around. Libolo, household name on the continent when it comes to...
I was afraid. I said, no, Libolo will roast.
When it comes to basketball. But I think the Gombe Bulls, just give it to them. They have, after Canopilas, I mean, in terms of the assemblage of players that, you know, really can give their own. They hold their own very well. And so they've shown in this competition that the Nigerian team are no pushovers. They have a win under their belt against all expectations. And against a tough customer like Libolo. Let's see their last game, if they can manage to squeeze into the knockout stages of this competition. That's where it gets tough. They didn't start very well. They arrived pretty late. The first game got beaten. Second one followed it up with that. And so it's a bit tight for them. But let's see how far they can go.
So that's it for Gombe Bulls. They are playing right there in Group B at the Africa Champions Cup. They are 5th on the log, played 4. They've lost 3 and they've won just 1. And that victory they got against Libolo. Let's talk about Kano Pillars. Yes, Kano Pillars were expected so much after they won their game yesterday. But today it wasn't easy against ES Raids of Tunisia. Etoile Sportive of Tunisia. Now, first quarter, Alfred, is very, very important. I thought they started well. Kano Pillars, they started so well. They lost 20-22. Now it's okay. We've just used it to test, our ability. But of course, we know the quality of ES Riders right there. And then second quarter, Kano Pillars was close again. The Tunisian side won 23-21. And then in the third quarter, they just lost it totally, Alfred. 35-15. And right there, it's game over.
They're not just good enough. I know that the quality so far shown by Pillars, I know they have more quality than they've been able to show in this competition. And one would have expected, given their first 2 losses in this competition, and they got a win under their belt in the third game. And now this was the key game for them if they must progress in this competition. And losing and the manner which you lose, just like you said, that third quarter is where either you consolidate or you suffer, and they suffered the blowouts. They couldn't just recover from there on. And it's AS Rades. One thing about competitions like this, it's the home team, home ground, of course, home fans and the rest of them. You expect that it must have been a very, very tough environment to play, and perhaps they couldn't just live up to it and lost that game to AS Rades.
Wow, so that's it. For Gombe Bulls and Kano Pillars, Nigeria's representative at the Africa Champions Cup. They'll be busy again tomorrow. Let's just run through tomorrow fixtures. Gombe Bulls of Nigeria will be taking on ASB Mazembe of Congo DR. ASB Mazembe. Alfred, you think there's going to be any problem? I look at it on the log. They're bottom of the table, yet to record a victory. So I'm thinking Gombe Bulls can get something out of that.
A win will branch a chance because they lie fifth. The first 4 will go into the knockout stage, while others will play classification games. So they just have it all to do in that game against the bottom placed team. I think it's once they get that, they see how it goes the other direction.
So Kano Pillars will be taking on City Oilers from Uganda. Again, Kano Pillars, I think if they keep their focus, they can get something out of that one.
Yeah, of course. City Oilers, you don't expect the team from Uganda. You don't expect them to be as good as the Kano Pillars team. Like I said, that loss to US Raiders is like. That for them could have been something, and the manner in which they lost, it's especially that third quarter. It's something that you'll just be looking at. If we are done well here, perhaps we can just. But against City Oilers, they have an opportunity of getting their aspirations back on track, and so they just have to focus and do the business there. Because one thing about games like this is, by the time you begin to look down the road, without concentrating on the immediate game, you might just lose focus. The immediate challenge before them is to win the next game, and not what happens at the end of the day. Win the next game, and perhaps everything might just go your way.
So that's it. But for us, we'll continue to monitor good experience in the bag for this Nigerian club side. Let's see. It's not over until it's over in this world of sports. So let's see what they can get out of that. Let's bring the discussion back home now. We're going to Benin City, which has been very, very busy with sporting activities. The National Judo Championships, we told you last week on this show, that the new board of the Judo Federation in Nigeria, they want to make judo popular. First thing first, they say people must know judo the way they know, let's not say football, it's a basketball, it's a taekwondo. So that's it. The National Judo Open Championship, Alfred, has kicked off right there in Benin City. Good one for the federation, but the president has some good message for the athletes.
I mean, something like this is judo is not one of the A-grade sports that you get to hear, and to see them put together an event like this, especially for an athlete who have this put together by an athlete who has done the sports in time past, is something that we should really commend, especially for the federation. Baby Taekwondo has one step ahead of judo. You have to take this sport to the grassroots, make it known, because these are the
Taekwondo thrives at the grassroots.
Yes,
kids, schools,
kids play. For the uninitiated, you look at judo, you ask, what are these guys? What are these guys doing? I mean,
the technique's slightly different.
Yes, you just have to find a way of making it appeal, because the more you get younger people to like a sport, the better it is. When in terms of development of the sport, if people at that level don't get a buy-in, it becomes difficult. It's only you discover that at some point, people who do the sport or even know about the sport will just pass on without letting people know. It's all good. This is happening in Benin City, Edo State, and I would just hope that at the end of the day, something good comes out of this.
That's right. So that's what we're hoping. The president of the Nigeria Judo Federation, Prince Timothy Inserim, he charged athletes, said, look, when you go out there on the mat, show good character, cultivate new friendship, do it for the love of the game, promote sportsmanship. The major objective for the federation is to create a channel to make judo the most popular combat sport in the country. Combat sport. So when you talk wrestling, you talk taekwondo,
talk boxing.
You talk boxing, they want you to say no, it's judo.
It's judo. I mean, you're like beyond putting together a championship like this, what is the plans that this federation have for taking it to the grass? Say for secondary school, for example, because that's where it all begins. Primary, secondary school. Make them love it at their spare time. Make them love it. Do this sport. Sure. I mean, by the moment there are kids who, when you start running around for football, they might not just like it. They pick interest in sports like this, and like any other lesser, if you want, permit me to use that word.
No, you're not permitted. Other sports.
For want of a better expression, some people will just say, okay, the lesser sport that's not football. There are people who just get the buy-in and encourage in such a way that it will appeal to young people to take to the sport. I'm sure that...
I think it's just this part of the world. I mean, how could you go to Serbia and call tennis lesser sport? when it is virtually Novak Djokovic and everything that he has done for the country.
Those guys are the ambassadors. They are the biggest brand the country can produce.
And it's because they started early. So for the Judo Federation, let's just hope that they'll make good use of the National Open Championship. It has kicked off today in Benin City, Edo State, with bouts in the senior, junior, and cadet categories, and it's for male and female. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break now. When we come back, we'll try to find out what's going on with Nigerian wrestlers at the Commonwealth Wrestling Championship in South Africa. Don't go anywhere. Stay.